Good morning and welcome to the 15-minute Chassidus. We're learning the Maamarim Ani L'Doidi Tashim Chavav, episode 2. We're holding by Ois Beis. Ani L'Doidi V'Doidi Di Rosh Tevis Elul. It's famous Rosh Tevis brought down in the Gemara and Shulchan Aruch. The teichon of the first Ois is that Elul is the Aveda, Ani L'Doidi is Rus L'Lasata. Rus L'Lasata means the person's own efforts and the Aveda that they put in. Rus L'Ela is something which is generated from above. The Rebbe ended off the Ois by saying, even though that the Aveda is a Rus L'Lasata, that's the main theme of Elul. Nevertheless, the last letters are V'Doidi Li, which is the Gili Mulmaila and V'Doidi Li. So how does that fit into Elul? It seems that in Elul there's also hidden an inyan of V'Doidi Li a Gili Mulmaila, something that's going to be there to help the Yid. So we're going to see throughout the Maamarim that that's the case. What is that? And how is it still the main theme of Elul? It's Rus L'Lasata. How does that work? Even though that there's some V'Doidi aspect within the month of Elul too. Ois Beis. A mamshech ba maimer shebi Elul huzman Yud Gimel Midas Yerachmiel. Elul is the time of the Gil Yud Gimel Yerachmiel, and that goes back to the time, the first Elul that we in the Torah, where Moshe Rabbeinu was on Har Sinai for the third set of 40 days. And that was he davened for the Yidden after the Chet HaEgel. And now they were shining the last 40 days, concluding Yom Kippur. From Rosh Chodesh Elul till Yom Kippur, there was the shining from Hashem, Hashem's Yud Gimel Midas Yerachmiel. The love and the unlimited mercyful connection that Yidden have to Hashem. And so every year you have the same Gilui. It's one of the beautiful inyanim that we have in Yiddishkeit. The things in the past aren't only things that happened in the past, but they are also active today. As the time frame comes around again, so too the same inyanim are shining through into our existence, into our world. You have this like by Shabbos. Shabbos is the 7th day of the week, 7th day of creation. It says, and Hashem rested on the 7th day. V'yonach b'yom hashvi. So what happens now, thousands of years later, it's a cycle. Zman's a cycle. And so we go through a weekly cycle, a monthly cycle, a yearly cycle, that in the same day of the week, or the same day of the Yiddish month, the inyanim, l'mayla, shine through in a similar way as they did the first time. The difference is it doesn't shine through in the same magnitude that it did the first way into Elam Hazeh. So Pesach is Yetzias Mitzrayim. We don't have that physical piece of Yetzias Mitzrayim and the Makkos and then Kriyas Yamsuf, but everything till the physical, the same Ruchnius Dike Giluyim, the same change in the Elam Haseh is happening at that time every year. So too it comes Elul. There's an extra gilui of the Maila, of the Yud Gimel Yerachmiel, and it filters down into our world. So this is the same theme that was taking place, the first Elul that this took place in with Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai, and now too comes Elul again. So these 40 days from Chodesh Elul through Yom Kippur is shining the Yud Gimel Midas Yerachmiel. Even though we said before that the main theme of El is Rus L'Lasata, meaning the work of the person below, Rusa means arousal, L'Lasata means from below, meaning the Avodas HaAdam. Mikol Mokim is Rus L'Lasata Shel HaAdam. Nevertheless, this arousal from below of the person, Befrad Kishehu Rochak Melukos, and especially when he is far from godliness. Well, Yidei Hiseris from the Sinas Koich L'Maila. That's through the arousal and the Sinas Koich that comes from above. That there's in the spiritual atmosphere that's in Yud Gimel Midas Yerachmiel. What does it mean that he's Rochak Melukos? He is far from Melukos. You've got this. We have this understanding of this tension in Chassidus, Where on the one hand, the Hashem is Malay Chol Aretz K'vodei. Nothing can be far from Hashem. He's the creating everything, and so his Chais Eliki is intimately into and involved and connected with everything. He's bringing everything into existence, Machaya or Mahav everything, and also that's the way Mamalik Kol Alman, the Soviv Kol Alman, Hashem's infinite presence. Nothing it can hide from the infinite presence of Hashem. So he's totally connected with us too. And as a Shemayim Vesaretz Ani Malay, I feel the presence of our universe and all the heavens above. So how can we say that a person is rochak Melukus? So it goes into a couple of levels. One is, first, it's in the Regesh Adam. How does a person feel? We feel ourselves. The Alter Rebbe says in Perek Aleph of Tanya that the inyan of the Nevesh Abamis gives chayes to the person, and as a result of that, we feel I'm here. That feeling that I'm here is not actively pushing something else away. It's a subconscious, subtle pushing away of the feeling of the closest to Hashem. I'm here, and so that's me. Who are you? Now I'm me. Yankel, Chaim, Baruch, Ruvain. That's who I am. So that itself is a feeling of being. It's not an active feeling of being a rochik far from Elokus, but that's how the person is with his yesh and his metzias, because the guf and Nevesh Abamis gives that subconscious and even conscious awareness. We don't have the awareness that we're being created, and this is all b'kavanah. This is what Hashem wanted, but this is how it is. That's one thing. Second thing is that a person could have done a virus. And the Averis is what actively pushes the Nevesh Elikis further deeper down in the person and Hashem away. It's like as the light is shining, the Averis is like a cloud that covers the light of the sun. So too the Averis hold back their connective feeling of revelation and connection to Hashem. And there's a third aspect. Even the person doesn't have it, has done tshuva, but he has the ability to go against the will of Hashem. All other creatures can't. They all fulfill the will of Hashem, but a Yid has the ability, beside his Nevesh Abamis, to the Yetzer Hara, that he could not do the Ratzon Hashem. So on many levels, we can reflect on that one is rochak Melukus. Another thing is, the Alter Rebbe writes, that one can reflect on his life and think about how much of his life has been involved in serving Hashem openly. There's the Nisha says, Ani lo nivreisi el l'shamash eskoini. I'm created only to serve Hashem. And how much of my life in the past has been just involved in Gashmias, or things that are not involved actively with the kavanah in serving Hashem. So through his abundance, which is also part of the avodah of Elul, of tshuva, one should be aware and feel that he's rochak Melukus. So then how is it possible then to turn this around and get closer to Elokus? So this is what the Elul is all about. That to be able to help the person be lifted up. We once went to a national park, and one of the things in the national park is you could rent rowboats. So we went on a rowboat, and we were running around floating around on the water. Came back and parked the boat, and another fellow had taken another boat out and was trying to row out, and he was trying to row, and rowing, and the boat didn't move. He just didn't move. And he was getting frustrated, and we looked with a wonder. Then we realized his anchor was still over the side of the boat. No matter how hard he tried to row, he was still anchored in. So we thought this is sometimes a person would be in such a situation that you have a desire and want to get close to Hashem, but you're tied down. The anchor is still tied down. The negative inyonim are holding you back from going further. So you need a boost, a change, some change to let go of some of the negativity and to be able to go forward. And this is what the Yisraelis and the Sinas Koyach Mamayla. This could be one of the angles of what this is. Further, at the end of the third line, Vigili Yud Gimel Midas Harachim should be yellow, and this Gili of the Yud Gimel Midas Harachim should be yellow. The Gili Zeh Hu L'Chol Echad V'Echad MiYisrael. This is to every Yid. Gamer Rechoykim B'Yoseh, even those that are very far away. And that we see as it was with Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu davened for those who worship the Egel, who did the Cheta Egel. And Hashem, there was discussion in Har Sinai that when Moshe saw this Gili of the Yud Gimel Harachim, he said, this must be for Tzaddikim, it's so precious. Hashem said, it's also for the Rishonim. So now when Moshe evoked them, Hashem said, you told me it's only for Tzaddikim. And Moshe said, yeah, you said it's for the Rishonim. So even those who are Rechoykim B'Yoseh, that no one is ruled out from this special connection to Hashem of the Yud Gimel Harachim. There's unlimited love that Hashem has for every Yid. And this then is, and this is the giving of the Koyach L'Mayla of that a Yid is then able to serve Hashem himself. It helps lift the anchor, it helps free him up to be able to want to embrace Hashem. Elo, Shegili should be Elo, who will be Iker, Rak Nesinas Koyach. This comes only as an Nesinas Koyach. The giving of the strength, and not an open, miraculous revelation that you're automatically drawn into it. And this gili doesn't arouse the person. It's not you saw a nace. It's not that something unusual happened. No, the atmosphere changed in some way that you're drawn naturally into it. Because of Aveda Atzma by Adam. The person has to want to do it. It's Ani L'Doidi. It's I'm connected to Hashem. And so it's the backdrop is available. For all, a person the whole year he's involved in Gashmis, involved in making a living and having a family and all the inyanim we need to live in this world. And now he's thinking, oh, hang on, Rosh Hashanah is coming. Let's see how we can connect more to Hashem a little bit. What's going to help him schlep out? So there's the undergirding, the background of the spiritual air that's there. This is available to help him make a change. This is the mile of Elul of the Seres Meitshuva. The Seres Meitshuva, Befrat Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim. These 10 days, especially Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, Hagili hu biyofen shegili ma'oris ha'adam. That's the revelation from above that arouses the person. At special days, you go to shul and there's the chazan and we have the long tefillas and there's the shofar and the special foods and everything we do. These are geared that this is I'm aware this is a special day. And so you automatically schlepped in, and the Veda of the person is like an extension of what revealed from above. Hashem's the Melech. We have all the unique aspects of the davening to think about. And so you automatically drawn in. You have even in shuls that could struggle all year round to have membership on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. They're full. Why? Because there's a more revealed aspect of the Yom Noraim, the high holy days. That's what happens on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. So the person serves that he has to do the work, come to shul, daven, hear shofar. Yeah, but it's all in the theme of I'm drawn towards it. So that's what happens. So it's generated, so to speak, from above. However, and the main inin and the plus in the Avodas Adam, that the avodah of the person, avodah b'keach atzmei, that the person has to put in the work himself. That's an Iladoidi, and this is hu be'elul. That main avodah, that's in elul. And when you think into it, Hashem could have made the whole world automatically a place where of Gili Elokus. That would have been no big deal for Hashem. He chose to make a dir b'tachtonim, our world, in where you have His hidden, and we have the privilege of being a partner with Hashem to bring godliness into the world. That avodas hatachton, the avodah of the person when he works with himself in this situation, that shines through in elul. All right, thank you for joining. Have a great everybody.